Well, that's good because you don't have anybody to compare to. So maybe you guys will think, he was great. The rest of you, how many of you have been to like 5 or more? Yeah, most of us, right? So you guys are going to be thinking, this guy, he's not as good as last year. I'm trying. Anyway, how many of you sat through IDW over the years and thought, that's a pretty good idea. I think that would work. Anybody get an idea at IDW? How many of you write it down? Write it down. Good. How many of you put it in your binder and take it to your office and stick it on the shelf and forget it? That's my IDW binder. That's mine, right there, right next to mine. The IDW 14, 13, 6, 8, 12, 4, 2007, and I have the rest of them to the right of that photograph. And I'm going to admit that I used to write down good ideas. Now, some of them hit me so powerfully that I went and implemented them. I really did. I was excited. But some of them I forgot about. Because I went home, because I'm a teacher, I'm a real estate broker, I have other things in my life, and so I just kind of stuck the binder in there and I forgot about it. And I remember one of you in this room a couple years ago asked, I was at IDW, sitting next to you, I won't point you out, and we talked about how it would work. And a couple months after class, she said to me, have you done that thing? And I thought, I forgot all about it. So I went back and I grabbed the binder and I started doing it. So, I'm going to do something a little different. Melissa, Michelle. Now, if something strikes you as, I think I could use that in class, I want you to write it down. Now, I have also put in, this is kind of a to-do list on steroids, actually, because I want you to write down the idea, and I want you to write down a date. I want you to put a goal date that you want to implement this. So by such and such a date, I will do this, and then it asks, how could you use this method? So it gives you a chance to make some notes, maybe which classes you could use it in. So that's step number 1, write it down. Now here's the cool part, I think. I want you to notice down at the bottom, there's an accountability partner. So I want you to choose somebody. Maybe somebody in class, maybe not, maybe somebody at home, maybe it's your spouse or your significant other or somebody in the office that will hold you accountable. Maybe it's somebody in class that that you know or have gotten to know. But I want you to commit to having somebody call you up in 2 weeks or a month or whenever you decide, and I want you to ask them to hold your feet to the fire. So whatever you decide to do today, I want you to do it. And I want you to commit to do it. And I want to have you pick somebody to help you do that. Okay? Will you do that for me? You don't have to. This is optional. I just think it's a genius idea. All right? I like the first one.
Okay. Like you, I don't want to be here either.
That is a good one. Don't ever say that. Don't ever say that. Like you, I don't want to be here either. Excellent. Jeannie.
I'm from California, and in California we
There you go.
That would give him a dandy phone.
Okay. Who else has some? Josh. Just remember this for the test, and then you can forget it. Yeah. That's a good one, Josh. That is a good one. Who else? There were some more. I saw some really good ones. Who else? Kelsey.
Making an edgy joke or comment that you don't know how it's going to...
And we're going to talk about appropriate and inappropriate humor here in a minute. Yeah. Starting off with an inappropriate comment or trying to say a joke that's...
Well, like a joke, like putting up a comic slide that's super political and you don't know who's sitting in the room.
Yeah.
Really great icebreaker.
Very good, Kelsey. Very good. I like that. Kathleen.
I'm never teaching this class again.
I'm never teaching this class again. Yeah, I think you should avoid that statement. Kathy.
I don't feel good from last night, so I don't give a really good time.
Very good. Betty.
I was kind of something to say, but I'm
I'm coming down with a cold. I don't feel well. I'm coming down with a cold. Everybody moves from the back row, from the front row to the back. Okay, and those are terrific. Very good. So avoid all of those things. You need to be positive about the class. And even though maybe it is not your favorite class to teach, there are some classes that I have that we teach they're not. I like other classes better. I'm going to be honest with you. There's some classes I don't prefer over others. But if you're going to teach it, you cannot give off that impression, give off that aura, because what you're doing is telling them it's really not a good class, and their negative thoughts are going to kind of take over, and they're not going to learn as much as if you're really positive. There's two things I want to show you on this particular slide. Notice the picture quality here and the picture quality here. See that line there? That picture quality and that picture quality. When you're going, and I get all my photos, I either took myself, but most of them I went to Google Images. And you type in anything and you can find a picture of anything in Google Images. And most of them are free for use per Google. And so this one was 300 by 400 megapixels. So when you stretch it out, it doesn't look very good. This one's like 1500 by 2000. So that's, when you find the pictures, find the big ones, the big megabyte ones, because they reproduce well when you stretch them out on a slide. All right, I just wanted to illustrate that. To be honest, I remember an IDW several years ago where the instructor says, you need to change your teaching method every 10 to 15 minutes. And I remember thinking to myself, yeah, right. I remember thinking, you're kidding, right? Change it up. I didn't pay very good attention. I was into judgment and not curiosity, definitely that day. I didn't know, that didn't make any sense to me. Change it up every 10 to 15 minutes. You know what? She was right. But you don't have to change it. I thought it was changing it up dramatically. Changing it up means just taking a few minutes and doing it think, pair, share. Or a quick little group activity. Turn around and talk to the person that you're next to. That's how you kind of change it up. She said, and I believe it because other material I read, written by scholars on adult education, says you need to change your delivery technique approximately every 15 minutes. I've done this as well. I said, turn to your neighbor and say right now, I'm really liking this class. Are you liking this class? Or I've really learned, I mean, some silly little thing, and they kind of like it. I have some other examples in here. You're very smart. I'm pleased we're sitting close together, or something like that. You're a very snappy dresser. Someday I'll be like you. You put it up there and you make them say it to each other. And they laugh, and it's funny. They do it. And it just is like a little jolt of adrenaline. It gives them a little more energy for a second. You're surprisingly articulate. I like that about you. That's a nice one. This instructor's amazing. Let's take it relax. That's my favorite one. Okay, just a quick little energy boost there. What I call active learning. This is you. This is your demeanor. This is the way you act. This is how you portray. I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I'm your teacher. This is fun. If you tell the students that the class is going to be fun, and they're going to enjoy it, and they're going to learn, guess what? That's what happens. If you tell them that it's boring, but we got to trudge through it, then they're not going to like it. So your attitude is key to bringing them in and being engaging. Don't just stand in one spot. Move around the room. I've tried to move around the room today. You probably try to move around the room. It shows that you're interested in the topic, that you are interested in being a good teacher. It shows you have a zest for teaching, what I want to call it, a zest for teaching. You really like what you do. Even though you just do it part-time, perhaps, only occasionally, do a great job when you get out there. Be excited, be energetic, and show it in your movements, show it in your tone of voice, show it in your volume. Deal with rabbit trails, right? We always get them. Deal with the rabbit trails. Create a parking lot. This is what I did. If you've been in my classroom, you'll see this. This is a weird angle. I need to take a better picture. I have a little question parking lot, and when somebody brings something up that's obviously off topic, The only people, they ask a question and you've heard them all. Their questions, they start off in this incredible detail, it gets very complicated, and you know this is happening in their life, or it has happened, and they want to fix it right now or get your take on it. Don't do it. Just say, you know what? Eric Bolander, who is one of the best natural teachers that I know, actually, I saw him once do this, and I've done it ever since. I say, you know what? Let's you and I take this. What Eric said to a student who did this. I watched him. He says, let's you and I take this offline on the break, and we'll discuss it. And so that's one way to deal with it, because if they're doing something and it's just going to be you and them, don't engage with this. You have you and one person are talking, and everybody else is going, why are we talking about this? Right? Don't do it. Don't do it. Tell me to talk to them on the break. So now when I teach, I have nowhere to go. I don't have an office down in my school. So what do? I stay in the classroom. I was forced to stay in the classroom. And guess what? That's when they want to talk with you. And I've been for 10 years or longer, I was missing the opportunity to interact with students because I was leaving during breaks. And the shy ones will come up and talk with you on a break. They don't want to raise their hand, they don't want to talk in class, but they will come and talk to you on a break. So stick around on your breaks. Give them advance warning, the shy ones, that you're going to call on them or ask something of them. Force them to participate. Use a round robin style. Everybody has to answer a question or a review or a topic. Use a think, pair, share. That brings up. They have to participate with their partner. Have them do a rotation. And then if there's an incorrect or completely wrong answer, make sure that you don't demean them or cover it with tact.